Europe is burning, and this time it is not just a headline. It is a warning to the world. Across the continent, a dangerous heat wave has pushed temperatures to extreme levels, breaking records, triggering red alerts, increasing wildfire fears, affecting hospitals, damaging transport systems, stressing power supplies, and putting millions of people at risk. From France to Italy, from Spain to Germany, from the United Kingdom to the Balkans, people are facing a kind of heat that feels less like a normal summer and more like a climate emergency unfolding in real time. Roads are scorching, railway systems are slowing down, rivers are warming, farms are drying, and firefighters are preparing for the next spark that could turn dry forests into flames. But the biggest question is, why is Europe suddenly getting cooked like this? The answer lies high above the ground, in one of the strangest and most powerful weather patterns on Earth, the Omega Block. High in the atmosphere, there is a fast-moving river of air called the jet stream, which usually moves weather systems from west to east, bringing changes in temperature, clouds, wind, and rain. But during an Omega Block, the jet stream bends into the shape of the Greek letter omega, like a huge atmospheric wall. In the middle of that pattern, a massive high-pressure system gets trapped, while low-pressure systems sit on both sides like barriers, stopping the hot air from moving away. This creates a giant heat dome over Europe. The air sinks, compresses, and becomes hotter. Clouds disappear, rain stays away, winds become weak. The land keeps heating again and again, day after day, with no escape. It is like putting a lid on a boiling pot. The heat is trapped, the pressure builds, and everything underneath starts to suffer. This Omega Block is one of the major reasons the current European heat wave has become so intense, so widespread, and so dangerous. In parts of Europe, temperatures have crossed 40 degrees Celsius, and in some places, records have fallen earlier than expected because June is not usually the peak of Europe's summer heat. France has been one of the hardest-hit countries, with reports of hundreds to more than 1,000 excess deaths linked to the heat wave, and health officials warning that elderly people, children, outdoor workers, tourists, and people living alone are especially vulnerable. The danger of extreme heat is that it often kills silently. Unlike floods, earthquakes, or storms, heat does not always look dramatic on camera. There may be no giant wave, no collapsing building, no loud explosion. But inside homes without cooling, inside crowded apartments, inside nursing homes, and on city streets with no shade, the human body begins to fail. When the body cannot cool itself, dehydration starts, the heart works harder, breathing becomes difficult, and for vulnerable people, the situation can turn deadly very quickly. In Italy, several cities have faced top-level heat warnings, while people in places like Rome, Milan, and Sicily have been forced to protect themselves with umbrellas, fans, water bottles, and emergency cooling advice. In the Balkans, countries have faced not only dangerous heat, but also rising wildfire threats. Dry grass, stressed forests, low soil moisture, and strong winds can turn even a small spark into a fast-moving fire. That is why Europe is burning has two meanings. One, the continent is burning under extreme temperatures, and two, parts of it are literally facing wildfire danger as heat dries the land and turns nature into fuel. Firefighters in southern and eastern Europe are now under enormous pressure because wildfires can spread quickly across forests, villages, farms, and tourist regions. Smoke from these fires can travel far, affecting air quality even in places far from the flames, making breathing difficult for people with asthma, heart disease, or weak immune systems. But the heat wave is not only a health disaster and a wildfire risk, it is also an infrastructure crisis. Modern Europe was built for a different climate, and now that climate is changing. Railway tracks can bend in extreme heat, roads can soften, power grids can come under huge demand as people use fans and air conditioning. Rivers can become too warm or too low to support power plants, farming, and transport. Some nuclear and thermal power plants depend on river water for cooling, but when river water becomes too warm, power production can be reduced. Agriculture is also suffering because heat damages crops, dries soil, stresses animals, reduces productivity, and increases the cost of food. In cities, the danger becomes even worse because of the urban heat island effect. Concrete, asphalt, glass buildings, and narrow streets absorb heat during the day and release it slowly at night, meaning cities do not cool down properly even after sunset. And when nights stay hot, the human body gets no recovery time. This is one of the deadliest parts of a heat wave, not just the daytime temperature, but the hot nights that keep people trapped in heat for 24 hours. Scientists say heat waves are natural weather events, but climate change is making them stronger, longer, and more frequent. The Omega Block may be the immediate weather cause, but climate change is the background force making these events more extreme. Think of it like this. Weather decides the event, but climate change makes the event hotter and more dangerous. A high-pressure system may have happened in the past too, but today it is forming in a warmer world, so the trapped air starts from a higher temperature and climbs into more dangerous territory. Europe is warming faster than many other parts of the world, and that means heat waves that were once rare are now becoming more common. This is why climate scientists warn that Europe's current heat wave is not just a temporary weather story. It is a preview of the future if emissions continue and cities do not adapt quickly. The human cost is already visible. Schools may close or change schedules. Outdoor workers may be forced to shift working hours. Tourists may cancel trips. Hospitals may see more emergency cases, and families may lose loved ones to a danger that many people still underestimate. Extreme heat is often called a silent killer because it does not always create dramatic visuals, but its impact can be enormous. The most vulnerable people are the elderly, infants, pregnant women, homeless people, low-income families without cooling, people with heart or kidney problems, and workers who must spend long hours outside. But no one is fully safe when temperatures reach extreme levels. Even young and healthy people can suffer from heat exhaustion or heat stroke if they ignore warning signs. Symptoms like dizziness, confusion, headache, heavy sweating, rapid heartbeat, and fainting should never be ignored. During heat waves, simple actions can save lives. Drink enough water, avoid direct sun during peak afternoon hours, wear light clothing, check on elderly relatives and neighbors, keep children and pets away from parked vehicles, use shade wherever possible, and follow official heat alerts. But personal precautions are not enough. Governments need stronger heat action plans, more cooling centers, better emergency communication, shaded public spaces, heat-resilient buildings, more trees in cities, stronger power systems, and serious climate action. Europe's heat wave is a message that the old idea of normal summer is changing. What used to be considered rare is now happening again and again. The Omega Block has trapped the heat, but the bigger trap is our slow response to a warming planet. If we continue to treat extreme heat as just another weather update, we will miss the real story. This is not only about Europe. This is about the future of every continent, every city, and every family. When one of the most developed regions in the world struggles under extreme heat, it shows how serious this crisis has become. Europe is burning today, but tomorrow it could be another part of the world. The question is no longer whether climate change is real. The question is whether we are ready for the world that is already here. Extreme heat is not just weather, it is a warning, and the world must listen before the next summer becomes even worse.